Welcome back to the Spotlight here in the Defender's Den of the Azura Veterans Coalition Resource Center. Welcome back. Thank you for your service. And I have some exciting news for you today, but we'll wait. Let's get started. I want to introduce you to a very important, very highlighted guest in the community. And first, I would like to thank our sponsors at Black Rifle Coffee Company out of Phoenix. They have donated pounds of coffee, beverages for your brewing pleasure here in the lounge. Come on down 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. Grab a cup of coffee, fresh pastry, honored by our guests today, and let's talk. Okay, and also our production team over here, they've been all over the country interviewing people for their full-length documentary that's to come. And I would like to give them a special thanks for honoring us with their service, Happy Jack Media and Black Pete Tactical. So if you want to know more about that, there is a link down in the subscription. Thanks, guys, for all of your support and help in building this podcast so that we can share and highlight veteran voices in the East Valley and all of Arizona. Let's do it. Okay. Today, I would like to introduce the former executive director here at what was formerly known as the Mesa Veterans Resource Center, Jaime Martinez, Army veteran. Thanks
How's it
for
going?
Being here, brother.
Thank you for inviting me. Looking forward to this. Should be fun.
Yeah. Well, you've had a long day. You got up at 03.
Do you want to start there?
No, I don't even know.
We can definitely start there.
You're breathing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So what you do out there is, I don't even want to start because I'm going to botch it because you do so much. Let's start with your service, how you came to be a part of the Arizona veteran community and all the things.
Yeah. So spent close to 9 years in the United States Army as a combat medic, deployed to the Middle East theater. Did some not so cool things, did some really super cool things. We all know experiences are both good and bad within the military, but that's neither here nor there. After I got to the military, though, again, preaching the choir here, I had about 6 years of my life where I was an absolute shitbag. Drugs, alcohol, women, gambling, everything that you can think of that a veteran will do to ruin their lives, I did.
Pre and post military, during?
So no, to be honest with you, I did not touch a drug or had not touched a drug, not even smoked weed until after I got in the military.
Wow.
I was ACAPing is when that mess started for me.
You were ACAPing?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
So ACAPing, for those of you guys in the Army, you all know it's the process that you take as you're kind of getting out of the military. So when you're ACAPing, there's no more responsibility to your team. I was no longer doc to my team. So that got taken away from me. That importance got taken away from me. Again, probably preaching the choir here. But at the moment that importance got taken away from me, my soldiers got taken away from me. My soul got taken away from me. And the only way to replace that was with drugs, alcohol, and women.
How'd that fare for you?
I'm going to be honest. I would never, ever take back those experiences because it made me the man that I am now. As Nicole well knows, at one point, I was literally the homeless veteran holding up a cardboard sign on the side of the street, begging for money. So those hard times and reaching rock bottom and disappointing my family, my team members, it honestly built me into the person that I am today. And I am driven as I am, and I'm successful because of that.
Yeah, a lot of people have the same kind of mentality. They're like, I wouldn't trade anything because it made me into the person I am today.
Correct.
But there's got to be a lot of regret and resentment and like what ifs, and if I had done this and shifted here or shown up differently there, or if I would have jumped on the grenade here, or if I could have saved my buddy's life, and like, would trade anything? How do you justify that today in your life? Like, how are the blessings from it?
What a fucking question that is. I don't feel like I have the opportunity or I don't feel like I have the time to look back and regret. I don't have time for that anymore. And if I'm being honest with you, it's a very, very good place to be. I am so busy and I'm so in my job and my responsibilities and what I do now that looking back for me is not something that is productive anymore. The only thing that I do when I look back is think of all the happy things and all the positive memories that I have. Had a very, 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 very close friend of mine die in my arms while I was in combat. And instead of remembering him like that, I remember his children. I remember his wife, and I remember the positive impact that they've made in life. His son is now in the military. I believe he's an officer. So I look at those things as opposed to remember the bad things. I don't have time to remember the bad things
Mm.
anymore.
But for a long time, you were caught up in that mentality.
Absolutely.
So you got out of the service and you have all this
Yep.
PTSD going on, and you're lost and you're on the street and you're addicted to drugs. How long was that going on? How did you overcome it? How did you get out of it? What'd you do?
6 years of my life I spent doing the wrong thing. Here's how I got out of that. In and out of treatment a bunch of times. I lost my children. I lost my wife at the time. I lost my house. I lost absolutely fucking everything. None of that mattered, if I'm being honest with you. You can't fucking do it for somebody else. I can't do it for my kids. I can't do it for my wife. I can't do it because my family's disappointed. That shit doesn't work. Um, it's not until you're ready and somebody approaches you in a way that makes sense that you can make the change. So here's the way that I got clean. I was holding up a cardboard sign on the side of the street, and I had an old timer who was a veteran. I believe he was a sergeant major who was doing the job that I'm doing now. And he walked up to me. I was holding up my little cardboard sign. He's like, "Let me ask you a question. What branch of the military were you in?" I was in the Army. "What'd you do in the Army?" I was like, "I was a medic." "Did you deploy?" "Yeah." Here's what he said. He said, "How do you think your teammates would feel that died in your care about the life that you're living right now?" That is what changed my mind. Who in the fuck am I to drag their name through the mud in that way when I got to come home and they didn't?
Mm,
I need to live each and every fucking day making them proud that I was afforded the opportunity to come home and they didn't. That's what changed my life.
that's powerful.
Yep. So, piece of advice for those of you guys out there that potentially have battle buddies that are hurting like I was a while back, approach them and approach them in a way that they'll understand. We understand military leadership and being coddled 9 times out of 10. "Oh, it's going to be fine. Everything's going to be good. You're going to be great. Everything's fine." It isn't going to work for us. Got to tell the truth.
Yeah. And so you've had to go through like multiple treatment centers.
Mhm.
And so that was a hard lesson to learn. You had to get thrown down. You had to break those old beliefs, right?
Yes.
And the beliefs that you believe about yourself, right?
Yep.
Like you thought you were a piece of shit. You thought you
Yep.
weren't good enough and so
Yep.
on. So breaking through to that, a lot of people can't do that. Do you think that's something that's inherent in most people, or is something that is built to you, something that you find along the way, some kind of resolve? How did you, from that sergeant major walking up to you, do you think you were born with that, or was it something that you had to find in yourself and you had to have that mission for you? Like, I will not go back there.
1,000% the latter. It's not something that you either have or you don't. It's something that you unfortunately for a lot of us it takes rock bottom for us to hit that point, right?
Mhm.
It was built in me by my experiences, which is why I can't sit here and lie to you guys and say that I would take all that time back, because I wouldn't. No matter how much I lost, I would not be the successful person that I am sitting here today if it wasn't for that. But I had to hit rock bottom, and unfortunately for a lot of us that's what it takes. My mission now, my goal is to help veterans before they hit that rock bottom, so that they don't have to learn by losing their wife, by losing their kids, by losing their homes. So that's my mission now. But I'm sorry, guys. I wish I had a super cool answer for you, like it's all going to be okay. But I'm not here to tell you that. I'm here to tell you the truth. Your experiences will mold you, and the harder the life that you live, the more successful in the end you will be. So don't take, if you guys are out there watching and you're struggling, don't take that struggle for granted, because that struggle, in the end, can make you successful. 3 years ago, being completely honest, 3.5 years ago, maybe, how long was it that I was here? 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, something
Yeah.
like that. It's 3.5 years ago. I was working here for the Mesa Veterans Resource Center, nowhere near the operation that Nicole had built. And I was just kind of spinning my wheels. In 3.5 fucking years, I've become the person that I am today. I did that because I took the experiences and the trials and tribulations that I've been with or that I've gone through, and I use that to mold the person that I am today. So don't take your suffering for granted, guys. Suffering is fucking privilege.
Mm. Everybody's rock bottom looks different. And I've heard something in the rooms before that says your bottom is when you stop digging. And
Yup.
suffering well. I have a book over here. I should have highlighted it, but it's called Struggle Well. Like suffering is a part of life, but and it's inevitable, right? Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional, right? So you're going to suffer, you're going to struggle, but how do you struggle well? And that's kind of what you were adding to right there. How do you show up as your best version of yourself in the middle of a struggle, knowing that you're going to get there, but it's going to take all of you to do that? To achieve that, you're really going to have to shut off the world. What is right for you? Stop asking for permission. Stop asking for advice.
1,000%. I own a male mindset business and a personal training business that I specifically help males with. We just discussed this, and it's funny that this came up. Here's the truth. Nobody's coming to save you.
Mm.
Nobody cares. Nobody feels sorry for you. And it's one of those things where you cannot rely on somebody to save you. You have to save yourself. This is the civilian world, and I know it doesn't make sense to us because in the military, we do save each other. The hard truth is that in the civilian world, nobody gives a flying fuck. So if you're sitting there and you're waiting for somebody to come rescue you, well, guess what, gentlemen and ladies, ain't nobody fucking coming. You have to pull yourself out or pull yourself up by the bootstraps yourself, and you have to save yourself. It's the only fucking way.
They can't know how to help you. Our goals, our visions, our future, whatever. I can hear somebody talk at me all day long, but if it doesn't align with how I feel on the inside, it's nothing going that way because someone told you to isn't gonna, you're never gonna feel right and settled in that.
Well, this is the thing, right? I think the key word there is feel. Nobody cares about your feelings. It's just that's the hard.
They're projecting from their perspective.
Exactly. It's the hard truth that nobody wants to have this conversation because it's uncomfortable. Nobody cares about your feelings. And why should they? Life is hard. People have their own shit going on.
Mhm.
People have their own struggles, right? And just because we were privileged enough to serve our country, go overseas and do the shit that we did, it doesn't mean that we're more important than these other people that are struggling. So why I say that nobody cares is not because, human beings are inherently evil or whatever. It's that everybody has their own struggle, right? And the only way to fix that is to do it yourself. Period. End of story. How you feel doesn't matter. If I gave a shit about how I felt in the morning, every morning when I'm tired of shit, and I still have to go to work and I still have to perform, I still have my duties to carry out. If I cared about how I felt in the morning, I would never do any fucking work. You know what I mean?
Feelings aren't facts.
They're not. They simply don't matter,
They
right?
come in waves, they come and go,
Yes,
and it's
exactly.
all what we hold on to. If you believe them, then you can bring that in, you can manifest whatever you want. We create our own reality. If I can believe whatever I'm telling myself, or I can be like, that's bullshit. Next, show up differently and not take other people's opinions on as my own beliefs, because that doesn't serve either person.
It doesn't. I manifested the position that I am right now. You are manifesting the position that you will be in, or that you are in. You know what I mean? So, why give power to something that isn't going to serve you? is the way that I think about it, right? If I sit here and feel sorry for myself, if I wake up every morning and say I'm tired, then what's going to happen is the people that I'm supposed to be taking care of, my wife and kids, they're the ones that are going to suffer, right? So I wake up in the morning, every morning, not asking myself, how can I make myself happy? Fuck being happy. I don't care about being happy. I care about being proud, right? And I ask myself every morning, how can I make my family proud? Not how can I make myself happy?
I said something to a friend today that a friend told me last night was that your mood follows your action.
Hmm.
So if I feel like shit when I wake up, what gets me to the next right thing is discipline and routine. So like no matter how I feel, I know I need to get my
Yup.
steps in. I know I need to go to the gym. I know I need to eat well. I know I need to show up to work. I need to reach out to the people who I care about me and who I love. And I want to, you know, that's that's the piece right there. Is
Exactly.
because that shit's fleeting. And if I hone in on that, I will own more of that. And that's not what I want to own in my life today. That's not how I want to show up.
It's like we just said, right? Why give power to stuff that isn't going to suit you positively? Give
You only have so much energy in a day.
Yes, exactly, and so many hours in a day. And to get to where we're at now, and I do mean we, because Nicole has this same story that I have, and has been able to do the things, and is doing the things that I've been able to do. The only way to fucking get here is to work hard. There is no shortcut, fellas and ladies. There is no fucking shortcut. There's no other way. You have to bust your ass and you have to work every fucking day. And it's so funny because we were just talking about this off camera. There is You never get to a place where you exhale. It just doesn't happen. You can never exhale. You always have to continue to move. Reason number one is if you're not moving, somebody else is, and if they're moving, they're gonna take what belongs to you and your family. You know what I mean? Like it just can't. And reason number two, especially as addicts, because I will always be an addict. If I stop moving, the ghosts come calling, and if the ghosts come calling, then I start drinking.
Hmm. That's an interesting view of the world, never being able to exhale. Because kind of what we preach here is that, with yoga and Tai Chi and meditation and breath work, helps calm the nervous system down. So to get to a place where you and I are after years of recovery, you know, how how do I find myself in that space? I do have to take those mindful moments. I do have to catch my breath often. But I think what you're saying is might be a little bit different because you have time for prayer, right? So
So
you're
right. So what I mean by that is in your professional life, right?
mm,
I take my ass to the gym, um, and I pray, and those are my the way that I exhale, if you will,
yeah, I
right?
just wanted to clarify that for
Yeah.
people like,
So that I mean, you have to take care of yourself. And I'm sorry, but if your ass isn't in the gym or doing some sort of of positive physical thing within your life, and then you come to me and you tell me that you're depressed, I'm not gonna feel sorry for you. I'm
mm,
just not, because you have the opportunity and ability to get your ass up and go and release those endorphins and release that hatred, release that anger. I go and I get my face punched in at least 4 times a week, every week, just so that I can fucking release that and get rid of all that. Right. If I didn't go to the gym, if I didn't train, then I wouldn't be sitting here right now. So you need to be able to release that stuff. The best way to do that is to get active and be physically active.
yeah, you got to find what works for you. You don't have to get the shit kicked out of you every day, but I mean that's your MO.
That's
If
that's
it's
what works for
if
me.
that works for you,
That's what
all
works for
right,
me.
bro. I've had my nose broken once, and that was enough for me. So thank you very much. I'd rather do some yoga, and some meditation. But so you're Muay Thai, you are running a male mindset business,
Yes.
and you're also working for a recovery center as the ED.
Yeah. So
Or
yeah, a little bit of background on what I do professionally. Obviously, I have my personal businesses that I run, Male Mindset, personal training. But my real passion, if you will. So I'm the business development director for the state of Arizona for Hickory Recovery Center. My responsibility is to facilitate as many veterans that I can into drug and alcohol abuse treatment if they're ready for that. So it's something that I take very, very near and dear to my heart. And today, I've been up since 2 o'clock in the morning because I had to respond to a veteran that needed that kind of help. So there's no rest here. I can't rest. If I rest, one of my battle buddies might die. And that's what I mean by I cannot exhale.
You have the call with you for the rest of your life.
Yep.
That's how you choose to show up.
Yep.
And you're finding ways to make that work for you, having balance in your life, family, religion, the job, the helping other people find a different shift in their mindset so they can show up better in the world. I think that's amazing. That's a lot of capacity to hold within you. So, and it sounds like you have a lot of healthy outlets.
Yeah. It's not a choice though. It's not something that I do because I have a choice in the matter. Yeah, again, if I could give a piece of advice, maybe to somebody that's struggling here, is fill your day, your entire day with something. Don't fucking lay in bed. Don't freaking sit down and eat video games and eat Cheetos or whatever the fuck. Don't sit there and drink beer and go do something positive where you're helping somebody. The last step in the 12 steps is community, right? For me, being able to give back to these people that are struggling, it's therapy for me. It's selfishly, I'm giving myself therapy by fucking waking up in the morning and responding at 2, 3, 4 a.m. To a veteran in crisis. Why? Because I can't think on a Friday night that I'm going to go out and enjoy myself, and fucking get drunk and do a bunch of dumb shit because the phone might ring at 2 a.m., at 3 a.m. And if I'm fucked up, I can't help anybody else.
So, that's very true. Yeah,
Yep.
because you can't show up when, yeah, for many reasons, it's not helpful. I mean, if that's your prerogative to eat Cheetos and play video games, and if you're happy with that and you don't have any other goals and ambitions or priorities or obligations in your life or anything to take care of, do that. But most people want more out of life and they
I
don't
would
know
hope so.
how. But
Yeah.
starting in service has definitely been a theme in the past couple episodes. Is being of service is how you get out of self. It's how you nurture your soul, and it's how you give back, and it's how you grow and discover maybe something new that you would like to do. Like next week, we'll be doing a full tour of the resource center and the wellness lounge so people can actually get a picture of what it looks like in here so they can get a
Right.
feel for it. Let's come in here and represent other things to do outside of what is known to you. Most people stay stuck in those patterns because that's what's known to them. And it's scary to come out of what is known and safe. We know that. When you're suffering with PTSD, you're like, this is safe. This is what I know. I'm going to drink. This keeps me safe. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay small. But you have no idea the world that awaits you if you just take a little step, and you don't have to do it alone. Like you said, you're gonna reach down, you're gonna grab someone, you're gonna pull them up, you're gonna take them with you.
Have to.
You're gonna teach them how to be independent and find whatever. I've done so many things that I hate to find things that I love.
Yes.
And there aren't many things that I do love to do. I like to say I love everything, but then when I get into something, I'm like, this isn't for me. But I don't know because, after being so small for so long, I I didn't get to be a part of life. Now I just want to try to be a part of everything, and that's also detrimental at the same time.
I was took the words out of my mouth.
Mm.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't try to be a part of everything or try to people please everyone or try
People
to
please.
yeah, you can't. There's not enough of you. Believe me, I know. There's simply not enough for you to care about what other people are thinking of you, especially if they don't share your goals, right? So what I mean by that is surround yourself with people who you want to be like, right? Um, I've heard a saying before that you're a direct representation of the 5 closest people to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you want to be a successful, badass motherfucker that is out there helping people, making a good living, protecting, providing, and leading for their family, you can't bother yourself with taking the time to give a fuck about what people think about you. Just can't.
What did we say earlier? No fucks given.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to give
Yeah.
less.
Yep. Got to
Yeah.
give less.
Give more love, less hate.
I like that.
And you're like, I have no more room for hate in my heart today.
Yeah, I don't. And the hate in my heart is part of the reason why I struggled for as long as I did.
How has that changed for you? How do you do it differently? What came into your purview to change your mindset?
So, uh, there was an incident where one of my battle buddies, passed away, got shot by a sniper, and unfortunately passed away in my arms. We fucking leveled that building with everything. Um, we turned that building into dust. And I think I've told you this story, but so I remember afterwards uh, looking at the building, and there was a little Muslim lady, little headscarf, digging through rubble, pulling body parts of her child out of that building. That made me realize that it's not as black and white as we're the good guys and they're the bad guys. We're just fucking humans, and we can't hate each other trivially because one person is this religion and the other person is that religion. We just can't do that anymore. We need to be able to support each other and understand that we believe different things, and that we are not privileged enough to try to impose those on other people. Let people live the way that they want to live, as long as it's not interfering with you. And love each other, man. It's hate in your heart. It isn't gonna fucking take you anywhere. For 7 years, 6 years, I was so full of fucking hate. And a major part of why I lost everything was because I was drowning that fucking hate with drugs and alcohol.
So through all of your 12 steps and experiences like that, you had to find something bigger than yourself to help alleviate that pain and that struggle and help you see through it and to help build that compassion.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because probably gonna be a super shocker to anybody that's listening here. But I am Muslim. Um, I converted to Islam when I was in jail. I went to jail for my second or third fucking DUI. I can't even remember now. I went to jail and I met a little man. His name was David. Initially, I thought he was just some Colombian dude that spoke English funny. But he turned out to be from the country Jordan, and he turned out to be Muslim. So he heard that I was in the army. We chatted for a little bit, and he came up to me, and instead of trying to challenge me, instead of trying to argue with me or talk shit to me, you know what he said? He looked at me, he grabbed me in the shoulder, he started fucking bawling, and he said, "I'm sorry for what my people did to you."
Mm.
That's what he said to me. And he handed me a Quran, and I said, "Did you just not fucking hear everything I just said about you and your people?" Because I was being aggressive. I was being hateful. I was telling him all those things. Um, and his approach, I read that book, and more than anything, what that did was give me the fucking discipline that I needed to be the badass motherfucker that I am today. That's what it did. I cannot half be Muslim. I have to not fucking drink to be Muslim. I have to get my ass up in the morning, fucking 4:30 in the morning, and pray, for first prayer. Like I can't half do this shit. And to do this the right way, I have to stay clean. So what that did is it gave me the discipline that I was used to having in the military, and it gave it to me in a way where I could take ownership of that discipline, as opposed to it being imposed to me by my first line supervisor, whatever the case is.
Mm. How do your two worlds, being in the military and the man that you are today, do they reflect each other in any way? Are they completely separate? You are a different person than you were before.
I have to be,
Are you
yeah,
separate? Is this a different
I have to be.
entity?
I have to be.
Yeah.
I have to be. And I'm not saying this is what works for me, right? I'm not saying you do this. I have to be. I had to leave all that behind because I had so much hate in my heart. And I blame these people for so much. that I couldn't be sitting here sober today if I wasn't a completely different person with completely different values. I call it two separate lives. I say it all the time. It almost feels
Yeah, 100.
like that is a separate human being that lived a separate
That's
life.
what I say when
Yeah.
I tell people about my
Yeah, man.
past.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like
man.
I can see this person, I can have
Yes. Yes.
compassion for them,
Yes.
and they helped build who I am
Yes.
today. I'm like, but I feel I'm like I can just see them,
Yep.
but I'm like it's not who I am.
No.
It's something I went through, something I struggled through, something I overcame. But now it's just like it was really painful to let her go, and there are still remnants, like I say all the time.
That's fucking cool because I've it's really cool to have somebody else voice how I feel about it because I don't think we talk about this enough. You know what I mean? It's cool to hear that because that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's hard to show up and you're like you have to tell your story and then people will start to judge you. Everybody judges everybody. I mean, it's just the fate of the world. It's the human condition rather. And it's like, yes, I did all these things. Yes, this all happened to me. And I get to show up as somebody different today. I got to recreate my life through hard, tough decisions. And every day, like you say, we only have that daily reprieve. We have to wake up. We have to say, this is what's in front of me. This is what I want to do. This is what I get to do. These are my goals. How do I achieve them? But I can't do it with that monkey on my back. I can't do it holding that baggage and thinking that I'm less than because I have this story. I'm like, it's a life I lived. A lot of it happened to me. A lot of it I chose. A lot of it I stayed stuck in. I could have done something sooner, all that bullshit. But now I get to show up every day and I get to choose my hard. Life is suffering. Life is hard. Either way you go, it's going to be difficult. And then happiness is a byproduct of that shit. So I can find those happy little moments along the way, but I don't just get to show up as this giddy, beautiful soul all the time.
No,
It's within us all.
you simply cannot live life searching for happiness. You just can't do it. You know why? Here's what makes me happy. Fucking sitting at home, eating fucking Cheetos, snorting cocaine, and fucking drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
That's what makes me happy. That's what makes me happy. I can't live life trying to be. Do not live fucking life trying to be happy. Don't do it. It will lead to nothing but failure. Live life trying to be proud of the life that you're living. It's just
Proud of yourself because
it,
you don't have to prove it to
and then
anybody.
what that leads to
Mm.
is happiness, right? The byproduct of you living life in a way that's proud is happiness, right? Because I am happy, right? But it's not because I'm searching for it. It's because I bust my fucking ass every single
Every
fucking day.
day.
That's why I'm happy.
Yeah. It is nice to talk to like-minded people who have done that. And it's not, just for the veteran. Every single person
Yes.
is going through it and it are overcoming it, are trying to find ways around it. And then, like I say on the top of our website, is the obstacle is the way, So the only way through is through. You have to, you must. There's no easy way that you have to get really, truly, brutally honest with yourself and you have to face the ghost and let it go. And a lot of people are kind of scared of what comes up.
Well, fucking, it should be scary. If it's not scary, you're not suffering. If you're not suffering, then you're not privileged. It should be fucking scary. Like it should be a very fucking scary thing to let go of that hate, to let go of that past. To remember your battle buddies in a way, that you can be proud of them. To not remember, the horrible experiences and to let go of all that. It should be scary. If it's not scary, then you're not taking the right path.
Amen.
It's
Life is scary. When memento mori is Stoic philosophy that life could end at any moment. And we've survived some trials.
holy shit. Yeah.
We probably both could have died over different
Many,
times.
many times.
Um, but then today I get to find the gratitude. I wake up every day. I don't pray as you do, but I do find my gratitude. I ask my universe for guidance in the day, but I wake up and I say, I'm grateful for a lot of these things.
Yeah, and I think that's good. I think we need to make that distinction, right? And I think it's very important to make that distinction. So I'll start by saying this. I have never met somebody that has gotten clean without God. I haven't. What God is to you is individual to you, right? If it makes sense for you, I don't give a fuck if you're praying to Jupiter. You know what I mean? Like it needs to be something higher than you. Because if you don't find a God that is more than you, that is all knowing, all seeing, you're going to become your own God. And when you become your own God, you're in a lot of trouble. So it doesn't mean religion. It means find God somewhere, anywhere. Find something that is a higher calling than you are.
Yeah. And if you're not religious and you're more spiritual, or if you're agnostic, th every one person deals with some strife in the realm of existentialism.
Exactly.
Like, who am I?
Exactly.
Why am I here? Where
Yep.
did we come from? And that stuff can really take
Yes.
you out. So instead of searching for the answers that are so esoteric, like nobody has the answer,
Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
how can you find the calm in the storm today? Just for yourself, if not for you, for the loved ones around you that you're trying to look out for.
So look at the stark contrast, right? So you have two people that have become successful and that have kicked their habits. I do it by praying every morning at 5:30 or 4:30 or whatever time it is for first prayer, and then continuing that. You do it a different way. It works for both of us. The only way or the reason that it works for both of us, though, is because we didn't make ourselves God anymore.
Yeah, my thinking was all skewed and every action I took was wrong because I was like, the ego, it's a motherfucker.
It is. Yep.
So everyone can find their own way through this. Everyone can struggle well, or they can stay stuck in the suffering as it's chosen now. It's a chosen suffering,
What did you say earlier? It was fucking cool. It was
kind of a big
like
deal.
it was like it doesn't fucking matter if you're rich or poor, you're gonna suffer. So pick one. You know what I mean? Suffering doesn't end. It doesn't stop for anyone. It doesn't fucking stop if you have $20 million in the fucking bank, and it doesn't stop if you're fucking holding up a cardboard sign on the side of the street. Either way, you're suffering. So you might as well fucking
Get
make
a
your life.
reward.
You might as well get a reward within your life. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because the suffering doesn't stop, guys. It just doesn't. Every single person will continue to suffer throughout however long we exist as humans.
Yeah, it's all in your mindset, how you harness what you have within you.
Yep.
And you don't have to do it alone. You can come in here, you can talk about it and just air it out because we have to process this stuff. You don't know what you don't know. And if you're taking on your feelings as facts, that shit's not helpful.
Yep.
So the only way to give, to be of service, to find a higher power is to get out of yourself in some way, shape, or form, and knowing that things happen to you and things can happen for you. And
Yep.
it's all that there's all these dichotomies in the world, and it's what you choose to do. And if it doesn't work out, then you can go back to that same thing and choose again. And
Exactly.
then tomorrow, because like I know you're not perfect and you have all of these disciplines, but you probably still fuck up,
All the time.
right?
All the time.
So you're on this long-lasting
Yep.
life journey of saying, this is what's working for me, this is not. You're on this for a year, you're on this for 2 years, you're on this for 6 months, and you're gonna world your ebb and flow, peaks and valleys. That's But what we're saying here is like, I found something that really works for me. And then you just kind of have to harness it with the rest of your values. If you want to level up, if you're comfortable staying there, if people want to join you, and then we just grow. But we don't have to stay stuck.
So let me add a caveat to something that I said earlier. I said nobody's coming to save you. The only people that will still come and save you are your fucking battle buddies. We need to talk to each other and we need to have these fucking conversations more often. And we need to have them without emotion, without feeling. And we need to be able to sit down and just air this fucking shit out so that we can move on with our lives. Because again, I would be dead right now if I didn't let go of that hate.
Yes, absolutely. And the woe is me mentality, all this shit happened to me. I'm entitled to a reward from it. I'm like, what have you done lately to make a different decision? Because you can't keep showing up with the same story every day, expecting a different result. That
Yep,
is insanity.
it sure is.
So, yes, a lot of bad things happen to everybody, but you have a choice today. Everybody has something great inside of them. And I keep saying that. And I was like, you are the only person who can be you. Share your special gift with the world. doesn't have to be this big, brilliant, bright light in the sky, but it's yours and it's unique to you. You are that kind of unique little flower, and it's up to you whether or not you get fertilized.
It's work. That's simple.
It's all work.
It's that simple.
Show up to
Yep.
work
That's it.
and just see what happens. And then you can recalibrate, you can rise, you can shift, you can change. Nobody says you have to stay the same way you are.
No, uh the only failure is a mistake that you don't learn from. You know what I mean? Like a mistake isn't you failing. A mistake is you learning, right?
Yeah.
If you don't learn from that mistake, then you're failing.
You can do it 100 times, but then you're gonna get sick of it. You eventually will get sick of it. I know I sure as hell got sick of a lot of the things I was doing.
Yeah. And I think it's a hard thing to say, but for a lot of us, it takes rock bottom, and it takes for us looking ourselves in the mirror and being like, I'm done with this shit. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that's the I'm done. I want to do better, not like I'm done. I give up, and I don't want people to think like
No, please.
I don't have it within me, and I want to, I start having some suicidal ideation or what have you.
Every fucking body has it within them. Everybody on earth has it within them. There ain't no motherfucker on earth that doesn't have it within them. It's just work, guys. You just have to learn to embrace it. You can't be scared of it. You can't let it, get you down in the morning. You can't let it, stop you from accomplishing your mission. It's just fucking work. I don't wake up in the morning and say, I've got 8 different things, but I didn't sleep last night, so I'm only going to do 4 of them. It doesn't work that way. No matter if I got 2 hours of sleep or fucking 10 hours of sleep, I'm going to do every single thing on my fucking calendar.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be all these things that you've delivered in your life. You're like, you're gaining all this speed, but it started with one thing. Like I like to say I have one intention a day. That way I'm not setting myself up for failure.
Build yourself up to those 8, right? But put something on your schedule that is a no shit. And it starts with the gym. It starts with working out. That should be your one no shit if you're a veteran, because you're used to that shit each and every morning. That should be your one no shit.
Yeah, to remind yourself that you're capable of achieving something. Set yourself up.
Yep.
Come in here, join one of our classes, one of our workshops. Come pick up something new. Do something new. If you don't know what to do, just do something new. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Try something else. You don't have to be great at it. You might surprise yourself. I've surprised myself at some of the things that I do. But there's more that I want to do. Things fall off and you lose interest and you grow and you develop, and then you achieve some kind of success, and you're like, now I want to, you're not the smartest person in the room anymore. You're like, I want to be at that level. So what do I have to do to get there? I was about to ask you, I was like,
good place to be,
what do I have to be at that level?
It's a good place to be.
Before I was like, what do I have to do to not feel like a piece of shit? And now I'm like, now that I feel better,
it snowballs, right?
I feel even better.
It fucking snowballs, and it snowballs
it
very,
works
very
in either
fast.
direction too.
That is true, and I think it snowballs faster the other direction almost. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So it's just very important to stay on that schedule and stay on that nitty gritty and stay on that grind and just learn to embrace it, because again, it's never going to end, guys. The only way it ends is if you take the pussy way out, and you guys know what I mean. So it's not something. It's not something.
We're into a lot of military talk.
It's not something. It's not something that I would encourage anybody to do, as somebody that has been there, done that, and has been that hopeless. It's not the right thing.
Sometimes you have to embrace the suck, as we say.
Mm-hmm.
And well, this has been quite the conversation, Jaime. Most
just as an FYI,
animated.
I asked her if I could curse before I cursed.
We are a military podcast. Well, I look forward to what we're going to be doing coming down the pipeline here in the lounge, and helping get people into treatment so that they can find what their why is, and how they can overcome that. Yeah,
it's impossible to do the things that you have to do to make your battle buddies proud if you're not sober. It really is. Now, what sober is different to everybody, but if I one last piece of advice as we close this out, make sure that you have something on your schedule, follow it, and keep yourself accountable every single morning. One thing will lead to another.
Yep. Be accountable to yourself, be accountable to your goals, and Catch us next time as we have probably more of a polite discussion. I'm not sure. This has been eventful. You're doing all the great things. Congratulations on your success and the new models that you're rolling out for younger males that you're helping to find a new way of living
Yeah,
into a happier space, as well as um, just sharing the love and not the hate, man, because that's
that's
it's a really big deal.
that's the biggest thing. A lot of people look at, the way that we talk and the way that we come across, and we're like big and bad and all this, and it's not even like that, man. It's all from a place of love. And the reason that you and I have been able to have the conversations that we have and are able to have the conversations like this is because we genuinely love and care about each other, and we want each other to succeed. So it's all from love, never from hate. It
It
can't
is.
be.
I had a conversation with somebody this morning and I started telling a little bit about my story. And she's like, that's the kind of stuff that people want to listen to.
Yes,
It's the real, raw, honest, authentic, really showing up for even I don't believe in a lot of things that you believe in, and I don't agree with a lot of it, but I can respect it because
that's
it
it.
works for you and it's employing you to be a better version of yourself.
That's all that
And if
matters.
that's what's going to keep you safe and in love and helping people around you grow and just giving back in service, what else is there? You know, that's how we have to have respect for people in the world. If you're
Yes.
not harming another individual and you're trying to help in your own way, people think differently and we all have to find our group, our tribe, right? Find your tribe, find what works for you, but go out there, discover it for yourself.
That's the
Don't let
key.
anybody tell you, don't let anybody define you. Nobody can do that.
That's the key. Yep. If I was in my little box, I'd be the homeless veteran addicted to fentanyl on the corner, right? That's
That's
the
that.
box. That's the box that I was put in. Fuck that box.
Yep. And I was put in that box from the VA. They're like, "Girl, you have all of these things. You're in this box." And I was like, "I'm leaving here. I don't want to be here." And it was like Matrix, there is no spoon. There is no box. It's all an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Step out of it. Find your freedom. Find your peace, find your joy, find your happiness. And come down here and share it with us once you do. And if you don't know what that is yet, come discover it for yourself. Let's talk. Let's talk like real talk.
Yep.
And if you're not in a space where you can do that yet, and you're feeling a little hopeless or something is not landing with you and you feel like giving up, please don't forget that the crisis hotline for veterans is 988, then option one. There is hope for you. There's work left for you to do. There's people in this life who still need to hear your story. And you have no idea who you're going to impact by sharing it. And if you don't want to share, just come and listen. Let's try something new. We're here for you. And we'll be back every single week with a new guest to explore other realms of possibilities that can shift and enlighten our lives because you're worth it. I believe in you. And thank you for your service.